It was a brisk autumn evening in San Francisco. The city buzzed with life, cars honking, footsteps clattering along the sidewalks, the distant hum of music from a street performer echoing off the high-rise buildings. John Delaney adjusted his tuxedo jacket as he stepped out of his black town car in front of the opulent Fairmont Hotel. The red carpet leading into the charity gala stretched ahead, dotted with flashing cameras and well-dressed guests. As he made his way toward the entrance, something pulled at his attention, something out of place. Across the street, near a cluster of bundled figures huddled beneath a bus stop awning, he noticed a woman slouched against the wall. Her clothes were ragged, her hands wrapped tightly around a stained blanket, and her eyes were cast downward, almost lifeless. John slowed to a stop, squinting. There was something achingly familiar about her, the curve of her jaw, the way her hair, though now gray and matted, curled slightly behind her ears. His heart began to race. No. It can't be, he murmured. He crossed the street instinctively, ignoring the traffic, barely hearing the honks of irritated drivers. He crouched down in front of her and gently tilted his head. Maria? He said, his voice trembling. The woman flinched slightly, then looked up. Her eyes met his, tired, weathered, but unmistakable. Mr. John, she said, voice hoarse and uncertain. In that moment, everything around them, the cold air, the city noise, the glittering event behind him seemed to disappear. It was Maria, the woman who had taken care of his family, helped raise his children, and made their modest house a home back when he was just starting out. And now, she was here, on the street, alone. John's throat tightened. His hands shook. My God, what happened to you? Maria looked away, ashamed. Life took a turn, sir. John sat down on the cold sidewalk beside her. Tuxedo be damned. I'm not leaving you here, he said quietly. And he meant it. The wind picked up slightly, rustling leaves along the gutter and sending a chill through the thin fabric of Maria's warm coat. John didn't seem to notice the cold. He stayed beside her, his expensive jacket now resting on her shoulders. The contrast was striking, his polished shoes beside her worn sneakers, his tailored suit trousers next to her frayed jeans. But none of that mattered anymore. Maria glanced at him uncertainly. You shouldn't be here, Mr. John. You've got places to be. Important people waiting. John shook his head slowly, his gaze fixed on her face. No one more important than you, Maria. She blinked rapidly, trying to hold back tears. I didn't want you to see me like this. And I hate that I didn't see it sooner, he said. All these years, I just assumed you were doing fine. I should have checked in. You meant so much to our family. Maria looked down at her hands, cracked from the cold. After my husband died, I tried to hold on. The bills, the rent. Then I got sick. I couldn't work. I lost everything. John ran a hand through his hair, visibly shaken. You didn't lose everything, he said. You still have me. She looked up at him, startled. I mean it. Tonight doesn't matter. That gala, those people, they'll survive without me. But you, he gestured around them. This isn't where you belong. For a moment, she said nothing. Then a soft, broken laugh escaped her lips. You always were a little too good-hearted. He smiled faintly. And you were always stronger than you gave yourself credit for. He stood, then extended a hand. Come on. We're going to fix this, together. Maria hesitated. Her pride wrestled with her exhaustion, but in John's face, she saw no pity, only compassion. Familiar, steady, real. Slowly, she reached out and took his hand. As she stood, he held her steady, then wrapped his arm around her shoulders like a protective brother. He led her toward his car, nodding to his driver, who had stepped out in concern. Where to, sir? The driver asked. First stop, a warm meal, John said without hesitation. Then we're getting her a place to stay. A real one, safe and warm. Maria looked up at him, her eyes wide. Why would you do all this? He glanced at her and smiled softly. Because you did it for us. For years, now it's my turn. As the car door closed behind them, the distant sounds of the gala faded, replaced by the quiet hum of hope beginning again. Asterisk. The car rolled smoothly through the streets of San Francisco, the city lights casting long reflections across the tinted windows. Inside, Maria sat quietly, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. The warmth of the leather seat was a small but unfamiliar comfort. She stared out the window, watching the world pass by as if it belonged to someone else. Asterisk. John sat beside her, his phone in hand, making quiet arrangements. Asterisk. Tell them we need a room tonight. Yes, something comfortable, private, and have the nurse meet us there. I'll cover everything, he said into the receiver. No, I'm not going to the gala. Tell them to auction my table. Let the foundation have it. Asterisk. He ended the call and turned to Maria with a reassuring smile. Asterisk. I've booked you a place at a long-stay hotel by the marina, he said. It's quiet, safe, and I've asked a private nurse to come by and check on you. Just to make sure you're okay. No pressure, of course. Asterisk. Maria shook her head slowly in disbelief. I don't understand. You don't owe me anything, John. I was just the help. Asterisk. He turned toward her, his voice gentle but firm. Don't say that. You were never just anything. You helped raise my kids. You were there every day when we barely had anything. I still remember every night you stayed late when Ellie had the flu, every time you brought us soup when my wife and I were too busy or too proud to ask. Asterisk. She smiled faintly at the memories. Your boy used to sneak cookies behind my back. Asterisk. He laughed. Still does. Only now he's 6 feet tall and thinks I don't notice. Asterisk. The laughter faded into a moment of silence, comfortable and heavy with shared history. Asterisk. You were part of our family, Maria, he continued softly, and I should have been part of yours. I should have asked where you went, why we lost touch. I let time and success blind me. Asterisk. Maria wiped at her eyes, the tears coming faster now, no longer held back. You didn't know. Asterisk. But now I do, he said. And I'm here. Asterisk. The car pulled into a quiet, tree-lined street overlooking the bay. The hotel was understated but elegant, its windows glowing warmly against the night. A concierge stood waiting at the curb, recognizing John immediately and nodding with respectful discretion. Asterisk. The driver opened the door. John stepped out, then offered his hand to Maria again. She took it, unsteady but upright. Asterisk. Inside, the lobby smelled of lavender and fresh wood polish. A nurse waited by the fireplace, her expression kind and professional. Maria paused, overwhelmed. Asterisk. I don't know what to say, she whispered. Asterisk. You don't have to say anything, John replied. Just rest. We'll talk tomorrow. There's more I want to do. Asterisk. She looked at him, her voice cracking. You're giving me my life back. Asterisk. He gently shook his head. No, Maria. You gave so much of yourself to others. All I'm doing is giving some of it back. Asterisk. And for the first time in years, she believed that maybe, just maybe, things could change. Asterisk.